So, quick recap. Last week, we talked about the fact that you've been mind hacked. Something has taken over your mind and caused you to lose total control of your life. That's so not cool. But I'm here to help you get your mind back, because that's what it's about. So first of all, for those of you who are not really familiar with me, my name is Takiyah Diamond. I'm the author of the Minds Up Personal Development Life Revision book series. The books consist of Get Your Life Together, which is my #1 bestseller, Wisdom Words of Consciousness, 7 Things You Need to Change your life, Snap Out of It, and so many more great development guides that are 100% geared to helping you shift your mindset and transforming into what you do want, rather than seeing what it is that you don't really care to see. So we're going to shift that. I am a money mindset, vision, accountability coach, as well as a transformation and empowerment speaker. So I help other people who are on the path to enlightenment actually identify their negative beliefs. I actually help you eliminate those beliefs that have been holding your success hostage. Have you ever felt like you're just in this thing, and no matter which way you twist and turn, nothing seems to change? I totally get it. Trust me, I totally get it. But the good news is, you don't have to stay stuck. It can change. It has to change. And it will change. All you need to do is make a few adjustments that will help you see everything actually turn around in a whole nother way. So I help people eliminate and identify negative and limiting beliefs, thinking patterns that you might have, any doubts, any fears, and any other sabotaging beliefs that actually hinder and disable your success. So people sometimes ask, why do I want to help you change your life? Well, it's because you were born to live an abundant life. That's first and foremost. And if you're currently not living the way that you really desire, then it's actually likely that you're not aware of how you actually arrived at where you are, or you're just simply unclear of how to change it, or what you need to do to change what it is that you see in order for you to be able to see something different. Well, let me tell you, you are not alone. I promise. You have my word on that. Just a few years ago, I was in the same boat, and I convinced myself that I was victimized by the things that I had no control over. But then I realized that wasn't true, that I wasn't really victimized, and I found a way to turn that victimization into victorization. You know what I'm saying? To actually be a victor of my circumstances rather than a victim, So I realized later that the very things that I felt helpless about were actually designed to build my strength. Yes! And once I recognized that they were designed to actually help me see deeper than what appeared to me before, whatever it looked like before, and I just had like a completely different mindset about things, and I realized that it was like this aha moment, like, you know what I mean? That kind of came in. Thank you for the love, thank you for the hearts, thank you for the thumbs up. Keep sending them, and please share this live. So yeah, I realized that there was something bigger that was actually ruling my world, and the eyeballs that I was seeing them with weren't the true eyes that I needed to see with. You know what I'm saying? So as that began to happen, I just realized that I had to do something different, and then I made a decision that if I was going to change the way that I was thinking, that I was going to help other people change their lives and change their way of thinking because we don't have to be this way. So that's a little bit about me. Now let's hop into this recap. So last week we talked about You've Been Mind Hacked. Recap to Be Ye Transformed. Oh yes, it is time to be transformed. We have no time for smallness anymore. Out the door, right? Yes, exactly. So we talked about why your life is the way that it is. We talked about what beliefs that you've been influenced by. We talked about what stories that you've been actually telling yourself and where those stories came from, whether they came from your mother, your father, your grandmother, television, media, all these different things, music, where these beliefs came from. We talked about wake-up worries. We talked about conditioned lies. We talked about the top external blames that most people blame, which is they believe that is the reason for why their life not the way that they want to see it. And some of those external blames was the economy, their relationships, their personal finances, they went through a divorce, education, just so many different things that we had an opportunity to take a look at and analyze as to what we were believing were actually the blame for what it is that we were seeing in our lives. But technically speaking, yes, they may have played a part, but in the end, what we are seeing in our lives is only a reflection of what we're seeing within ourselves, what we are seeing within our mind, and what we are feeling, seeing, and speaking at the same time is actually contributing to the reality that we are experiencing. So if you want to see something different, you want to change your reality, which means that you're going to need to change the way that you see things. Your perception has to change about these things. And if you don't change your perception about them, everything will remain the same. And that's just the bottom line to that. We talked about the inner emotions that are actually holding your success hostage. So remember, we talked about fear. We talked about fear being false evidence appearing real. We talked about the fact that fear is actually a projection that happens in the mind before the story even takes place. So you automatically already create anything over 17 seconds already has you in the manifestation stage. Well, we talked about that. The timing that you cannot allow yourself to stay on a subject past a certain amount of time, because anything past that 17 seconds is now sending you into a whole nother vibration that is bringing back more of that to you. So I'm going to recommend that if you missed part 1 before we got cut off, I'm going to suggest that you go back to it and watch it. I'm telling you, you will be attached to this video. You will not want to turn it off, because even when I watched it back, I was like, that was deep. You know what I mean? So fear, doubt, shame, guilt, resentment, hatred, jealousy, all these different emotions that hold your success hostage. So these are things that we talked about that you actually have to let go of. So we got a chance to see the mess that we created. And so this is actually an opportunity to allow you guys to clean it up, because hey, like I said, I've been there. You know what I mean? I wasn't always drama free. You know what I mean? My life wasn't always to where I had control of my thinking. And even when dramatic situations and stuff like that show up for me, I check in with myself. Like, you know, what was I entertaining throughout the week that may have brought this situation up for me, because it's something probably within me that I haven't cleared up yet, you know? But we got to remember that everything happens for a reason, you know? In the moment that we can let go of attachments, you know, attaching ourselves to these things, then at that point is when we can evolve, which is what this whole journey is about. I see a lot of you guys are adding, but my phone doesn't allow me to see everything, so I'm sorry. But definitely, please share this live. Definitely big ups to you guys for tuning in. I definitely appreciate you. So let's talk about the mess and change. The mess we created, the unhappiness that we created at that time, that drama. How did we get there? How did we get there? So oftentimes you might say to yourself, like, how did I get myself in this mess? How did I get myself in this mess? But the question that usually follows after you ask yourself, how did I get myself in this mess, is how the hell do I get myself out of this mess? And the good news is there is a way out of the mess. And it's a lot simpler than you really think. It's just that we simply have to learn some things that actually caused the mess, and then commit to making the changes that we need to make in order to not create a bigger mess than the one that we've already created. But I believe that we can all do that, right? Type in yes if you think that you can uncreate the mess that you created. Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. So the first step to actually cleaning up your mess is to non-judgmentally. Mentally. Bless up, minds up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. So yes, guys, the first step to cleaning up your mess is to non-judgmentally admit that you're in a mess. You gotta first come to the conclusion. It's just like, an addict, a drug addict. Before they can get help, they have to first admit that they have a problem. They have to first admit that there is something going on that they do not have control over. And I'm not going to say that they don't have control over, that they have lost control of, because we have control of it. It's just that we give our power away, or we are too living by default. You know what I mean? We just too stuck in default living that things just happen to us, rather than for us, because we are creating what it is that we want to see. So yes, you want to admit that you created a mess. Admit that you created the mess that you're in. However, the hardest part for anyone to do usually is really understand how they got into this mess. And we talked about it last week when I stated that the mess that you end up in is really an unconscious thing. It wasn't something that you deliberately did. But now that I bring this to your attention, you're going to think differently. You're going to kind of be a little more mindful of the words that you use and the thoughts that you're thinking and the emotions that you're feeling when you're feeling them. And you're going to be a little more aware so that you can be in control of your life. You can be in control of the mess because you don't have to stay in the mess. So just do understand that the mess that you created was unconscious, and it was to no fault of your own, okay? We went over last week how media has impacted a lot of the messes that we have accumulated, how our parents learn from their parents and their parents learn from their parents, and it was just like a thing just being passed down, generation to generation, and we adopted these beliefs. So when we adopted the beliefs of, we might have heard our parents say, money don't grow on trees, don't ask me for no money. So now when you want something, you're a little afraid to actually ask for it, because you remember the last time you asked for something, Mom Dukes like to cuss you out and you almost got your head knocked off. Yes, that's true. They do. They gotta know. Yes. So, because the mom almost knocked your head off, now when you want to ask for a raise, or you want to ask for money, or you have your own business and you should be open to receiving business to flow to you, it can't flow to you because that subconscious belief in the back of your mind that when mom said money don't grow on trees, or you're not supposed to want money. Money is the root to evil. Do you know money is evil? Do you know rich people are evil? Just all of these different conditioned lies that we went over last week. Guys, please, if you didn't see video number 1, I am highly recommending that you watch video 1. It is on my YouTube channel. You can press play, and it's also on my wall, and you will see You've Been Mind Hacked. That is the one that you want to go back to so that you can get the grounding foundation of what we were talking about. So sometimes you probably want to ask, like, why would I want to create a mess for myself, right? And how did I manage to create my life to be so messy? And that's the thing, is that during that time that you were creating the mess in your life, you never understood that a mess was being created, and you never understood that you are the one, or you were the one who caused it. But now that you know, let's fix it. Let's fix it. So I want you to repeat after me, wherever you are. I accept that I created this mess without even knowing it. But right now, I am committing to cleaning up the mess I created because I love myself. 2 more times. I accept that I created this mess without even knowing it. But right now, I am committing to cleaning up the mess that I created because I love myself. 1 more time. Say it with all your heart. I accept that I created this mess without even knowing it. But right now, I am committing to cleaning up the mess that I created. Why? Because I love myself. Woo! Yes, yes, yes. So, what is it that's on your mind that's actually contributing to the life that you're currently living? So I know where we left off at last week was your wake-up worries. Your wake-up worries, that when you first wake up in the morning and you see the light of day, what are some of the first thoughts that come into your head besides what time is it? Or besides thanking God for waking you up, or whatever it is. But after you get past that initial acknowledgement, what ends up happening? That's so true. If you don't know, you don't know. But now you know. Now you know. So let's talk about a few wake-up worries. We're going to start there, and then I'll bring you guys forward. So, wake-up worries. Oh, boy. I got to get ready for work. That's probably one of the number 1 wake-up worries. Then, what comes in your mind is, dang, I got to make sure that I could pay this bill. Or whatever it is that you need to take care of. Then that wake-up worries, right? I wonder how my kids are doing. Even if they don't live with you, you still kind of wonder, like, how are my kids, if they're in college or they're grown, you still kind of worry about them just a little bit. You just kind of want to know that they're okay because they're your children. That's a part of parenthood. Another wake-up worry. I hate going to this job. My boss get on my nerves. I know how many of you guys say that one. There's probably tons of you out there who repeat that one, right? Then you worry about how much money is in my bank account. Oh, I wish things were different. I'm tired of the same life. Or you think back to my boyfriend and my girlfriend or my best friend and I aren't speaking. And you're thinking back and you're replaying the arguments that you may have had, with your mate or your parents or whoever. And when you go back and you start replaying these things, basically what ends up happening is you start recreating more things to happen that gives you that same feeling that you felt when you were arguing with your mate, with your mom, with whoever. So when you fall back into that place, it's not a good feeling. You know what I mean? It's not a good feeling. I see you guys are putting some comments, but it's just so hard for me to see. Yes, okay, there we go. Yes, exactly, Shy. If you don't know how to get yourself out the mess, then you shouldn't start the mess. Duh. But Shy, you got to remember that most people, when they started the mess, they had no knowledge of it. So now that they are becoming aware of the mess that they've been creating, now is an opportunity for them to change it. So yes, exactly. All these kids got to get to school on time. Exactly. That's a really good wake up worry that we definitely wake up in the morning to. Or either we got to get to work on time. If I don't get to work on time, I'm going to lose my job. All of these things, you got all these things vibrating all around you. And guess what? Because you're so worried about getting to work late, what happens? You're behind, get to work late. And you woke up at 5 o'clock and you're still late. Or you work down the street from the job and you're still late. It's because the vibration that you're emanating out is saying to the universe, I want to be late. Even though you think you're saying, I'm rushing because I don't want to be late. The way that the subconscious mind works is the total opposite, which we're going to get into that. Not today. But when I come on to the next live, then we're going to talk about the subconscious mind and the unconscious mind so that you can actually understand this whole mind thing, so you can understand this whole vibration thing. But as I stated to you guys, I have to take you in steps so that you don't get lost. I got to kind of take you from the bottom and bring you up so that you don't get lost in where I'm taking you. So that's the whole objective. So the first thing is, I ask, where's your head at? And you got to ask yourself, are you living in the past or are you living in the now in excitement about your future? If you usually wake up with all of these thoughts of stresses that happened the day before, basically, this means that you're not living your life in the now. You're not living your life in the present moment. And if you're not living your life in the present moment, then you're just recreating scenarios to re-show back up in your life. And perhaps different people, but they will show back up. So you end up being stuck in the past, which is basically how you end up where the heck you were at to begin with. And you don't want to keep repeating that same cycle. So when you wake up in the morning and you start to sense and feel yourself having the same type of thoughts that you've been having over and over each morning that created the mess, you're going to have to begin to choose something different. So I can give you a real easy thing that you could begin to do when you first wake up in the morning, which is what I do when I first wake up in the morning. Just think about all the things that you're grateful for. So you want to say things rather than, oh my God, the kids, your job, all of the, you want to say, I'm grateful and thankful for the job that I have. I'm grateful and thankful for the steady stream of income that I have when I'm working. I'm grateful and thankful for opening my eyes. I'm grateful and thankful for my hands, my arms, my breath. Like, my life, period. The fact that I'm still here when some people didn't even wake up. You know what I mean? So you want to actually feed that positive energy out so that your day can actually go in a positive direction. Because if you stay in that negative mindset, then your day is going to turn out on a negative path. And that's not what you want. And because we know that's not what you want, I know that's not what you want, stop it! Stop! In the name of love. LOVE. Okay? Stop in the name of love. Love yourself enough to stop entertaining those sabotaging thoughts. Okay? So, one of the things that I always put out there to everyone is to mind your mind. Mind your mind. Majority of the time you focus more on what happened that was bad the day before rather than focusing on what was good in the moments that came out of the day. So you just keep creating the experience of the same thing. And this is a cycle, okay? And this is where the programming is, and this is the program that has to be exterminated, from your mindset, from your life. This thinking has to be trashed. Because if you don't trash the stinking thinking, then guess what? Your life is going to always stink. And that's not what you want. So you want to focus on what you do want, not what you don't want. So let's talk a little bit about mind trash. What is mind trash? Mind trash. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, Sha. I'm going to leave it up to you. What is mind trash? What do you think mind trash is? And I'm going to share with you while you're typing in what your thoughts of mind trash is. So mind trash is actually your trained brain, because you trained it. That's what you need to know. It is your trained brain on auto thinking, sabotaging things. Write that down. Mind trash is your trained brain on auto thinking, sabotaging things. Now, negative thinking patterns are actually mental addictions. Just like people who are addicted to drugs or alcohol, these thought pattern addictions that take place, these are mental addictions that are taking place, and it's hard to break the addiction because your body is so used to the chemicals that it's producing at the time of you having these consistent negative thoughts, so that when you try to change it and you try to go on a positive path, something usually transpired to revert you back to something negative, because your body is like, wait a minute, you're not feeding me what it is that I need to be fed in order for me to survive, because those negative patterns are only surviving based on what you are allowing to be fed to it. So when you are having these negative mental addictions, like I said, just like drugs and alcohol, your body becomes used to it. It has to have it. It becomes a part of your day, and you begin to indulge in it automatically. And thoughts work the same exact way. So if you have a lot going on in your life, the first thing that the mind does is remind you of everything that's going wrong in your life, so that you can attach yourself to the circumstances. Now, this is how the program gets downloaded. So you guys understand that part. Hold on just a second. You guys do understand that part. So if you do have a lot going on, remember, the mind is automatically gonna go back and remind you of everything that's going wrong. Even though you're trying to think positive, as soon as you become idle, all of the trash is just gonna show right back up. Okay? So this is how the programming gets stuck into your mind, and because this is what it knows, it's just gonna project back what it knows. It thinks that it's protecting you. The mind believes that it's giving you what you want. It believes that it's delivering the order that you put in. So what do you have to do? You have to change that, and you got to put in a different order. And you have to keep ordering the new thing that you want, so that you can get past the old order, you know what I mean, that keeps coming every time you're trying to order something new. So stinking thinking instantly begins to sabotage your days ahead and your nights behind. So how many times do you go out with your homies, you go have a good time, you know, and everything is all good, you're having a good time, and then as soon as you get home, boom, what happens? You're no longer in that excitement of what you were feeling at that time. That enjoyment, it's like it's snatched away from you. You know what I mean? You're right. That's right. They do have a lot of stuff on their mind, Shasha. And once again, that is still in the past. However, you know what? We're gonna transform you to get out of that mindset of that old thinking pattern, that stinking thinking that has been sabotaging your days ahead and your nights behind. And when getting back to my story that I was sharing with you guys, that when you are with your friends and you get back home from the party or whatever the case may be, you get back and now you're like, all of the drama just sets right back in all over again. Why? Because there's nothing else entertaining your mind, and by default it's used to thinking about everything that has been trash. So the mind plays, let me just say, like, the mind plays like, it wastes no time. The playback system that the mind has, it doesn't waste any time on feeding you back all of the drama, you know what I mean, that you might have experienced before. So anytime that it's taking you back into that place that you came from, it's basically creating versions of hell for you. It's creating versions of suffering inside of your mind. Therefore, it's affecting your life outcomes as well as your body, many times causing chemical imbalances and reactions that cause disease in the body. So in order to shift that, we really have to get past the lies, that the mind consistently reminds us of. All right? So, how many of you are just sick of drama? All this drama. No more drama! I'm tired. Sometimes you just feel like you're just tired. You don't want to play in this game anymore. You just want to be tired. So, if you're sick and tired of the drama, there's definitely some things that you can do to press pause on the drama. But I want you guys to share with me a few examples of drama that you're actually sick of. Now, I'm gonna give you a list of a few, but I want you to type some in the chat box for me. Just some of the dramas that you guys are just sick of. You're just tired. You're just tired of it. So I'll give you a few. I know a lot of you guys are sick of fake friends, sick of bad kids, unfaithful lovers. And then we think about it. When you talk about these things and you mention these points, they all make you feel bitter. The moment that I said an unfaithful lover, it took you back to a time of somebody that was unfaithful to you, and it just brought up this negative emotion that hasn't even been healed yet. So that's a whole nother thing. We get into that, into healing all of those emotions and stuff like that at a later time. So let me not get too distracted because I want to keep you guys on the path. So your consistent thoughts and focus of all of these different topics and the emotions that are attached to them are what's contributing to more drama in your life. So what you have to learn is that when people, places, and things no longer serve you, you have to let them go. You have to let them go. You must move on. But if you continue to hold on to these people, places, and things that continue to breathe that drama into your life, then you can't say that you don't want no more drama in your life, because you're allowing that drama to continue to manifest in your life, and it's gonna continue to show up until you dismantle it from the surface. Hi Andy, you have to let it go from the surface. You gotta let it go from where it started. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta remember that drama, so many people's lives seem like it's filled with drama even when you're not looking for it. But drama is basically the result of the programming of this mental addiction that makes you automatically get drawn to the drama, even though you're saying that it's not what you want. You know what I mean? So it takes practice. You know what I mean? You have to really start implementing some really powerful beliefs, some new beliefs, not even beliefs, some new lifestyles, some new thinking patterns, some new paradigms that have to be implemented in order for you to actually alleviate the dramatic thoughts or the dramatic things that are taking place in your life. Now, one thing I want to talk about is he said, she said, I heard. Drama, drama, drama. Oh my God. Make no mistake, some people feel like they have no life unless there's drama in it. And these are the people that you cut off real quick, because as entertaining as they might be at that moment, it forces you to entertain their way of thinking, which actually puts you in a negative vibration to attract drama of your own that didn't even belong to you to begin with. Boom, wake up call. Yes, entertaining somebody else's drama about somebody else is breeding drama to you. So you have to know what to entertain and what not to entertain. And if you don't want drama in your life, then it's time to say the show is over. Man down. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to feed into it. You can very well listen to what it is that they're saying or whatever the case may be and just be like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. You don't have to respond to it in a way to where you're feeding it, okay? Because that's how the pain body gets fed. It utilizes other people to be fed the additional drama and the pain that it needs to feel in order for it to be fed. So one thing I always say when it comes to drama is that, in all honesty, who really cares about what somebody else is doing or going through if it's not being said out of love and attempt to help them? If you're not going to help the person, then don't come and tell me all this bad stuff about what's going on in the other person's life. Unless you're coming and tell me because you think that I can assist them in some way and help them evolve, and help them get out of whatever challenge it is that they may be facing at that time. I mean, chances are we're all facing our own challenges. And that alone is enough drama. I mean, I don't think that we really need to entertain anybody else's drama. So our own drama has to be tackled. So, however, if you focus on the outcome, you're going to realize that challenges, they really don't even exist. They're just a part of the process within that particular experience that you needed to experience. Now, I'm going to have to come back because I know this phone is going to shut off for you guys, and I have a class that I have to go to. So I will come back tonight and we can wrap up. But what I do want to leave you guys with is to get out of other people's issues. Because the more you are minding somebody else's business, the more of their energy you're attracting and creating for yourself. And this is why you have to learn to mind your own business. If you don't want what's going on in their life to become a part of your life. And for those people who love to gossip, just change the subject on them. It's simple. You just tell them, look, you wish the person well, and you change the frequency that they're vibrating on so that you don't pick it up. You don't want to pick up that mess, okay? So one or two things will happen when you tell this person, like, oh, well, I wish them well, and, I hope things work out for them. One or two things are going to happen. Either they're going to change the subject, or they'll go tell their problems to somebody else who's vibrating on the same frequency that they're on, who's down to hear it and be sabotaged. But at least it is not you. So to eliminate the drama, mind your own business. If it doesn't concern you or your own well-being or your immediate family or what have you, then why are you in it to begin with? Get out of other people's business. Stay out of the drama. Don't get into it. And why is it important to mind your own business? It's important to mind your own business because even if you're telling somebody else your stuff, your drama, when your so-called drama is over, your friends are still attached to the story that you gave them, and it brings lingering drama headed your way. So even though you're done with it, these people haven't forgotten about it. And trust and believe, they've already went and told 3 other people about your drama. So now when your life looks like it's good, the only story they remember is the one that said, oh, do you know she's homeless? Do you know she don't have a job? Do you know? And that's not even your story anymore. So I say this to say that if you want more satisfaction and less drama, stay out of other people's junk and keep other people out of your junk unless your intention is to help. So I'm going to get out of here by asking you, mind's up, where is your head at? Don't let the sadness from the past or the fear of the future control the happiness of your present. Because your present moment is all that you have. Stay there. Choose to live and choose to love. Mind's up, y'all. I love you, and I will try to come back tonight. If not, I will be back tomorrow, and we're going to rock out. In the meantime, share this live. Let it be known we out here. I'm out here. I'm available to help you shift your life. If you are interested in coaching with me, you can visit my website at www.mindsuplife.com or TakiyahDiamond.com to find out more about me, what I do, and how I help you change your life. Or just inbox me and we can talk. All right, y'all.